Good evening. So I'm a progressive Democrat, and I'm running for city council because I've heard so many people in my ward who are so very concerned about what's happening to our city. They feel like they're being left out of the process. And my opponent, well, he actually did vote to keep them out of the process on the library lot. He did cast that vote that excluded them from having an opportunity to participate at the ballot box on the library lot issue last fall. And that's 2,000 Ward 5 voters. You know, they wanted to be heard there. You should have listened. I would have, and I will always listen when thousands of people raise their hand and ask to be counted. This isn't rocket science. You don't have to have a great pedigree or fancy degrees to be a city council person. You have to listen to people, and you have to understand what their concerns are, and you have to ask staff to help solve those problems. That's it. It's really simple. So anyway, please visit my website, votedavidsilkworth.org, and my Facebook page, David Silkworth for City Council, for more information about my campaign. And I want to thank voters for watching this and for the league for hosting it. And everyone have a great night.
Thank you, Mr. Silkworth. And now, Mr. Smith, your closing statement.
Thank you. 2 years ago, I ran for City Council to bring more engaged and forward-thinking leadership to City Hall. I pledged to make government work better for the citizens of Ann Arbor, and that's exactly what I've done. During my tenure, I've been responsible for more than 40 adopted resolutions and pieces of legislation. On my watch, I helped to lead the fight to strengthen the 1,4-dioxane standard to keep our drinking water safe and to get the city into court to work for a real cleanup of the Gelman plume. I've helped to enact a vulnerable road user ordinance. I've helped to expand local funding for street, sidewalk, bicycle, and crosswalk improvements. And I've helped to commit to the Paris Climate Accord's carbon emission goals. I'm also engaged with residents. I'm always willing to meet with folks to discuss any issue facing the city. I host monthly coffee hours and try and personally respond to residents' concerns. Providing information to folks so they can solve problems and advocate for positions is a huge part of being an elected official, and one I'm good at. I'm running for re-election to make sure Ann Arbor is a remarkable place for everyone. To do this, we need to address affordability. We need to continue to improve the provision of basic services. We need to keep working on making our transportation network safe and accessible for everybody. And we need to look forward and fund programs that reduce our emissions and mitigate the impacts of climate change. To do these things, we need responsible development. Responsible development allows folks to live closer to their jobs, especially lower wage workers. It's affordable. It responds to the context of its surroundings. It looks good, and it creates memorable spaces. We need responsible development if we're going to address affordability in Ann Arbor, if we're going to reduce our carbon emissions, and especially if we're serious about housing equity. We have a responsibility to future generations that we make sure Ann Arbor is as special for them as it is to us. I'm Councilmember Chip Smith, and I'd be honored to have your vote in the August 8th Democratic primary.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. And